we're really here for is to build connections and to get to know each other, because you're all doing really strong equity-based work in the food system.
I said, are you passionate about and all of them things? And I was like, I just, my heart just welled up, and I was like, okay, that's a yes. And then I went down to what are you asking for from us? And I was able to say yes to all of that. So I was like, okay, I'm on board. I'm going to give this a shot.
And what attracted me personally was that you said we could sing a song or write a poem, and it just didn't seem as hard as your regular grant.
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Melvin, Twin Cities, Peacemaker. What attracted me to it was knowing that this was this exploration on trying to do funding in a more equitable way.
Imagine a performance-based show that goes beyond the medium of its performance, and basically will be a call to action in every community it hits.
I'm a resident of Newport, and I'm leading an effort to pilot a farmers market in my community. Newport is a small community that is often referred to as one of the communities with the highest density of lower income households in Washington County. It's also considered a food desert because of the absence of grocery stores and healthy food providers. My ask basically is the money I would be from this grant, I would be using to take care of the expenses to lease the spot where we're going to be at, and also to hire or source activities basically that would provide that community engagement component that I'm looking for. I want to be able to do a community engagement component at every market.
I work with a program that works in 13 gardens on the north side, and we have groups of step-up kids, like 6 step-up kids, and they work with a University of Minnesota intern, and they work with a garden elder. And so we would come one day a week and we'd work in the garden, and then we would all make lunch and have lunch with all the folks that you're seeing on the screen. So we'd all have lunch together and then have an hour or so to talk and to be together, and what we're hoping is that this will be an intergenerational experience, an intercultural experience. We have 1,000 ideas. So talk about regenerative ag, talk about disability, talk about good food, talk about, how do you live in the world? What do you need to do? And I think the kids also, here's Meg doing her thing. I think the kids also can bring some of the ideas of what they're doing, because they'll be doing some projects.
We had people that I live with that haven't been outside for years, and we got about 8 out of 25 out. It was just fun to see, like you could see from the video, some of the people were planting seeds and kind of smiling.
Back in August of 2018, we, through SHIP, Colleen and I had introduced a weekend woodland conference, and we just wanted to introduce our community members to traditional dieting and traditional medicines, and we had an extremely large turnout for it. So in gathering surveys to see if more and more people were interested in what other things they'd like to learn, we propose installing a permanent wild plant walking trail. This would be located near the Mille Lacs Indian Museum, and it would be accessible to anybody who would like to. There's actually 7 or 8 traditional medicines that we can find right along the lakeshore there. And we have been working with an ethnobotanist who is actually Sioux Ojibwe. So she has really gotten a handle on the types of plants we have in our area, what the medicinal uses are for them. And we just want to teach the community about it. There's been kind of a community awakening. It's a really large sober movement, and a lot of those people are kind of thirsty for cultural practices, cultural teachings, and we are trying to offer more and more trainings for that. We feel that it's beneficial to not only general health, but also health and sobriety, or health and kind of regaining their self.
3 years ago, I read this book and got so excited about his method of gardening. Since then, I've taught about 2,300 people how to do this method. And here's an example. This is broccoli, and you can see, I think this is about 15 cents worth of greens that someone could put in omelets, ramen noodles, any casserole, any soup, on any sandwich. Anything with eggs is lovely. So, for this grant, let me show you what I was planning to do with the budget. And I hope you can see this, it's all supplies. So I've been teaching people directly so that they can grow it themselves. And with this grant, I want to teach teachers. I want to find the groups that are already in existence and have the people running those groups or working with those groups know the method and be able to hand out free supplies and teach people how to do it. I'm looking specifically for people who have food security issues, like Meg's group. I would love to work with Meg's group because winter gardening, I think, is really something. I would go anywhere with this.
Our new mantra is that whole quote about progress or change moves at the speed of trust. And over the years, we've been building a magical type of trust. We want to start in Frogtown and Rondo to start getting people to have the same common language, to look at food issues. We want to be able to have that discussion about what really is a food desert. We want to talk about food shelves, but we want to flip things. We want to have the community to co-lead, to co-create, and to be part of the solution.
So the total that you have to gift is $2,857.
So as we discussed before, you have free reign of how you want to give out that $2,857, but you cannot keep any of it. And we will come back together at 12:30. We're going to get started right at 12:30. And at that time, we expect everyone to know how they're going to allocate all of their funding. And you'll give a little bit of reasoning for why you're allocating the way that you are. And that process can go pretty quickly or it can go slowly if people have a lot to say about it. So just get ready to sort of switch speeds to maybe something that might go a little bit faster here, and let us know if you need it to slow down or anything like that. We're here to just try to make this as comfortable as possible.
Yep. I just want to say that I've really enjoyed like all the passion that each of you share and the enthusiasm. It's really refreshing, and I love being around people that are really passionate about food and food advocacy. So thank you all for your energy today. But so I'll go ahead and get down to the breakdown. I want to award Meg's project $1,000, and the reason for that is because I love the way that you guys just went for it. Sometimes we overthink things, and it's imperative that at some point we just do. I also love the idea of how you're incorporating like these intergenerational elements. There's so much that we could learn from our elders, and I think that we've kind of gotten away from that as a society. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing. My next award is for Mohammed's project. I'm awarding you 629. And the reason for that is because I think in order to make a change, we need to use a multi-tactical approach. And you're doing just that, communicating and presenting these concepts like in an art form. My next award is for Brittany and the Medicinal Garden Trail. That's for 628. And the reason for that is because it's so important that as a Native community that we reconnect with like the traditional ways. And I think you're doing really important work, especially with people that have kind of gotten away from it and are trying to reconnect. And then the last 3 awards that are for $200, Melvin and Megan, Lydia and Lee. And again, thank you for all the passion and energy and the work that you're doing.
I would just like to say, after reading the proposals and seeing everyone's faces and sort of hearing it over again and getting a refresher, if you will, it's just beautiful. And I love how sort of everything sort of is sort of the same thing in a way. You know, we're all towards the same initiative, and I'm really grateful to be a part of this. So, thank you.
Totals after round 1. Mohammed has $3,200.18. Christelle has $3,311.16. Maria, $3,273.08. Meg, $4,929.18. Melvin and Megan, $3,175.08. Brittany and Colleen, $3,256.18. Lydia, $3,754.10. And Lee, $3,099.20.
All right, so now we're going to give you a minute to sort of sit with your total, and we're going to go through the line again, and you can say, I want to keep my total exactly the same way that it is, or if you want to redistribute any of that, you can at that time. This is 100% your decision to make. Don't make this decision on anyone else's behalf unless you're in a collaboration like Patsy and Meg where you are working together. You feel comfortable with what you have? Thumbs up. Okay, so Maria, it looks like you want to say something.
Yep. I want to give the 27308 to Mohammed's project.
Awesome. So can we do that again? Do thumbs up if you're feeling okay with where you're ending up. Okay. Great.
I just want to say thank you to everybody, because it felt like it was a very respectful and collaborative process. So it was pretty exciting to sort of see the same thing in all these different places. And now I have lots more people. I'm like, oh, I need to talk to you about that and this about that. And so it sort of feels like it's great.
For me, it was having limited funding that you can offer organizations that you have interest in. So, and being sort of in the with the hat on as a sort of grant giver, if you will, the difficulty of like, oh my God, you wanted to give more, but it's like you have limited, gifting possibilities. So hats off to everybody. Thank you.